So now we're gonna talk about Andrew Tate. That he
Mr.
just recently,
Producer.
yeah, he just. What'd you say?
Mr. Producer.
You're stupid.
That's his nickname on the internet.
He just recently got out of jail in Romania. So this is a pretty interesting topic. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, the things that individuals choose to. Search after people, choose to go after people about, and then they kind of pick and choose the things they want to, go after, when there's all sorts of collusion going on, all sorts of things. And if you guys don't really know who Andrew Tate is, he got his start on a show called Big Brother on the BBC network. And it was a show that basically brought him stardom, and there was a lot of different things that went on the show. I mean, he almost got into a fight with a guy, basically over some little sidebar, little comments and different things like that had been going on between everybody on the show. It's like one of those little reality shows, like Jersey Shore almost, So it was like just basically two guys bantering back and forth, and it was about to get violent, basically.
Yeah, he's a pro kickboxer too, isn't he?
Yeah, so
I would say he's lucky that he's a pro kickboxer, because you go to Romanian prison,
right?
I'm sure it ain't no walk in the park. You're probably fighting every day,
right? And especially when you're famous like he is,
Oh my gosh!
So his face is probably known all over the area.
And for trafficking,
right?
Bro, he was probably fighting in there a lot.
And then it was funny because he said when he got out, he was like, "Oh, I did 7,000 push-ups, and I was just pacing back and forth in my cell, and he's Muslim too."
Yeah, so he's like super. He's like, I will say one thing, he's like super into his routine. Like he does all the the this, the that. Like, I'm going to clubs, I'm going to parties, but he's still
diligent,
super disciplined.
So and it's really interesting because his dad was also a world-renowned chess player too. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. He was that's cool though.
Yeah, and his dad was also basically like a secret agent is what he talks about in his history of his dad. So his dad basically taught him everything he knows, and his dad is black. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Yeah. So it's just pretty interesting, to know all of this backstory about him, and how they kind of try to give him a bad rap about, all these things that have happened in his past. And that Big Brother show, they were saying that he was abusing a girl on there, but it was how it was painted in the show.
Right.
So all of this is coming against him when he goes to jail.
TV,
Yeah, and then there was videos of him spanking a girl with a belt. And that girl ended up coming out about that video clip and was just basically saying that, that wasn't really real, it was just role play, basically.
Yeah. I would say at least it was with a belt and not with, he's just beating her up with.
Right.
I mean, usually you see somebody that is a pro fighter, football player. It's not a belt. They just.
Right. They're just a psychopath.
They're Chris Brown.
They Chris Brown them. But, all of this is, I'm just telling you that to say all of this is going into his file,
right.
with the culture. Everybody's looking at, he's misogynistic, he's this, he's that.
Definitely doesn't help your cases in court.
Oh man, and the people, realistically, we don't want to say this, but the people are everything. They go towards making decisions these days. The internet is gonna either make or break you, in some of these cases.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We could see that with Trump, with us getting off of that topic, but and basically, this dude, he owned a webcam business as well. So this webcam business, he was saying that he made $600,000 a month off of this thing. Was making $600,000 a month off of this thing, and he also has a group called War Room, where it's
heard of that,
and it's all of these different individuals that come together and they talk about they talk about business strategy, and I'm gonna be honest with you, though he can be controversial at times, he speaks facts.
Yeah,
he speaks facts. I don't think undeniably now the Muslim thing, I can't really ride with that because that's not what I believe in. That's not my personal belief system. I'm gonna leave that up to him. That's his life. But when it comes to handling your business, getting your money up. Like, I could respect a lot of the things he says, and learning strategies, and being diligent and training and working out and different things like that. Like, he's a really respectable guy, and like you said, he's like very routine based. So that's pretty respectable about a man. But I just think it's just so crazy that he spent that long in jail over nothing, like over things that they didn't have concrete.
Freedom at last.
Internet personality Andrew Tate has been moved to house arrest.
It's a little bit emotional. I've been in one room since last year, so it's a little bit emotional.
Tate and his brother Tristan have been in a Romanian jail since late December 2022. They, along with 2 female suspects, were held on charges related to human trafficking, coercion, organized crime, and sexual assault. Romanian officials say the 4 people have been exploiting women by forcing them to create pornographic content meant to be seen on specialized websites for a cost. A lawyer for the Tate brothers said to reporters, "We waited and prayed for this decision. We see the court decision as legal, thorough, and correct." Tate says exercise and reading are on his to-do list now that he has been released from jail.
When I was in jail, I did 7,417 push-ups. I would like to get to 10,000 before the end of the weekend. So
I make 10,000 already.
I will focus on the push-ups, and I will read the Quran.
Tate, who calls himself a misogynist, was banned from Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram for violating policies against hate speech and misogyny. In November 2022, after Elon Musk became CEO of the company, his Twitter account was reinstated. The Tate brothers deny the allegations against them. This investigation is ongoing, and the 4 people will be under house arrest until July 29th. This is Inside Edition Digital.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you go to jail and then they find out later on that you went to jail unlawfully, there needs to be some kind of like counter process,
right,
or something. Because there's a lot of instances. Like, did you ever hear about that story? I'll go off on a quick tangent. There's this guy that got falsely charged for like a rape allegation, and then like 21 years later, they found the original guy, and then he goes to jail for it at the end. But the one dude is in jail, in prison for 21 years.
Yeah.
And then he just gets out, and then that's it.
And in all honesty, the only reason he didn't get out was because he probably didn't have the money for a lawyer. Right. Nobody was fighting on his behalf.
Your lawyer definitely helps. And if you have like a state attorney, and like if they're not gonna fight hard if they think you did it too. It's
right.
Like, come on, man. Like,
they're usually colluding with the judge. They're usually in cahoots with the judge. They're in cahoots with the prosecutor.
And who knows how much worse it is in like a Romanian prison.
Yeah, we can't get past that part. Who knows what they're even eating?
You don't like. I'm just like. Who knows? Like I'm not from Romania, but I just know that like I know a lot of people from Romania.
One thing I did,
and they be hard. They be tough.
Yeah, one thing I did see though that I thought was super fascinating was that he came out and was looking like super yoked. Like he did not miss a meal, bro. Like
I mean you're in jail. What else are you gonna do?
I know, but it just seems to me like when you would come out of that long being in jail 2-3 months, like you would lose a little bit of muscle mass.
Nah, bro. If you go to jail, think about it. You don't get to hang out. You don't get to go drinking. You don't get to go to publicity events.
True.
Like, that's why you see people in jail. They come out ripped. They come out crazy. Yeah. Plus, I'm sure that was like a way to like keep people like away, keep himself from getting in trouble, like going out to the do Romanian jails have like yard time? I don't know anything about the Romanian prison system. I gotta find out.
Yeah, that's.
I gotta fly and visit one of these people. And be like, so how is it over here? They're giving you food.
Yeah.
And then maybe like the food over there, like, or just maybe the jail was just not a bad jail, and like he was like comfortable. Maybe on the other end of the spectrum, like it was comfortable enough for him to feel comfortable. Like in like living there, when like, okay, well I can get my routine down.
Right.
I can work on my body. I can work on like, how I eat and what I eat. Maybe they have better cafeteria options
in Romania
than the U.S. jails do.
Right.
So maybe he had a good time. Maybe he was having a little
break from the media.
A little break from.
And it's funny that you say that.
Because he did nobody was really talking about him for a little bit.
Right. And it's funny that you say that because he said that too. He was like, I'm more focused than ever. I was in there for that amount of time, but I spent that time focusing on myself.
Planning and focusing.
I didn't have no media. I didn't have anything to do, you know? So, but what do you think about the whole situation, Kylie? Because I know you didn't really know much about him.
I mean, I didn't know. I just did a little bit of reading it. I mean, since he's a self-proclaimed misogynist.
Right.
That is true.
They were like...
He does,
he's banned from like all sorts of social media for violating hate speech rules and whatnot, and then which is kind of interesting for him to be Muslim, but then spout all sorts of hate speech and being a misogynist. It counteracts the basis of their religion, but it's interesting. But I mean, there were 6 women, it said, that they had found who were supposedly lured into this sex ring, bribed for sexual favors, and some of them have even claimed rape. But I mean, he's on house arrest now, so I don't really know how I feel about it. It doesn't seem like his personality seems like the type of guy who could very much be a part of that sort of action. Yeah. So I'm not going to say he's innocent.
I wouldn't put it past Mr. Producer.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't put it past.
I wouldn't put it past him either. I just think that, like, I just really genuinely think that a lot of times when there's certain people in certain positions, they try to remove them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, like absolutely. In any way, shape, or form, you know?
And a lot of what he's done for, like, there's a definite good and bad side to, like, everything that, like, encapsulates his like online persona, right? Where what people see about him, and of course I'm sure like in person you meet him and it's like completely different guy, or maybe not. But maybe he's like exactly who he is.
Everybody always says he reminds them of like a secret boss on like a video game boss. That's what he classifies himself as.
I can see that for sure because like on one side of like the good side, there is a decent role model telling boys to like value themselves, work on getting money, work on like, you know, getting in shape, work on like their possible future business.
That's exactly what I was speaking on earlier.
Work on like building your brand and everything like that. There's that aspect, but then there's also like the bad side where it's like, okay, do whatever you want to women. They're only tools in the end until you pick the right one. Yeah. Forget what anybody else says about you. Be as prideful as you can. Believe in yourself and in no one else. And like, they say that there's no bad publicity, but I feel like in a lot of cases, like there's definitely bad publicity. Yeah. And I'm sure his like online persona definitely didn't help with his like, you know, his charges. Yeah. And I would definitely not put it past him to, you know, see him like in a like even with like R. Kelly and you know what he went through, right? Like a lot of what you say, even as a joke, will like essentially haunt you forever now in this age where you have the internet and you say something on recording and now it is permanently there forever for billions of people to find out about later. So that online presence is definitely detrimental to whatever he may or may not do in the future, or you know whatever charges go against him. I wouldn't be surprised if more women came out and were like, well, also he did this to me, and then you know he might go back. So you never know, especially when people become successful and then they're one of those people that is widely hated by most. Right. Only loved by some, but the some that do love him seem to be a little delusional. Right. Because I will say, like, if you mention Andrew Tate in front of a woman that knows who he is, like our age, they're like, oh, red flag, red flag, red flag. Right. Like any woman that I know that like actually like is like, oh, he listens to Andrew Tate, oh, red flag. So it's like, I don't listen to Andrew. I don't know, like, you know, I don't know everything that he talks about, but I know enough to know that, like, there's definitely good and bad to his character.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes to say that if he ever wants a career in politics in America, there's a place for him. Right, right.
He could be right up there with Trump.
As soon as he turns that age, that 35.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, for all the young men out there watching Andrew Tate, just be mindful. Take pieces of what you listen to.
Absolutely.
Don't take everything that somebody says to heart because you want to pick and choose what sounds right to you. Follow your heart, you know?
And learn from your role models' mistakes. I mean, it's okay to idolize, somebody, model your life over, there people, that's the blueprint, right? Follow a successful blueprint if you can, but also learn from the mistakes and optimize on that for your own purposes. Right. I feel like that's how...
Idolize Jesus.
Well, maybe
that's another blueprint. Yeah,
don't maybe a better choice of
Jesus out there. Everybody else is gonna lead you down a wrong path.
Right.
Aside from the wife part, because Jesus didn't have a wife.
But I think that I see what you're saying though. I get where you're coming from. There's certain pieces of you could get advice from the lowest man on the totem pole.
And even if it's bad advice, you could find something out of it to say, okay, well, he said that he did this. And even if it's all bad stuff, okay, well, I'll just do what he didn't. I'll just do the opposite.
I don't want to.
I don't want to end up like that because you see where it got him. So now I know that doing this gets me there. So I'm gonna not do that at all.
But Kylie's 100% right. If you want to get it done, follow the one true God. Jesus, and do what you got to do, man, and stay focused because in these days and times, man. It's no good out here, man. There's stuff coming from all different angles. Politics, there's stuff coming all different angles from the media. They'll try to sell you some garbage. So just be smart and decisive in the things that you choose to spend your time listening to because these are our ear gates. We have to be mindful of even music.
Right.
And music can take you down a bad pathway. You have to be. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong to motivate yourself and use external forces to push a good message, but I feel like we
follow your avenues to the right place.
Yeah. And everybody's different. I mean, I get it. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. Everybody has different role models. Everybody's grown up differently. So I'm not trying to speak for anybody out there, but I'm just over here at Wingman. We're just trying to tell you how we do it.
Yeah. Grain of salt for sure.
Right.
Now, if you're trying to find some fighting advice, I think Andrew Tate, I remember seeing in TikTok that he's 22-0. Right. As a professional kickboxer. Fighting advice, you take Andrew Tate's advice. Don't take he's not losing at all.
He's made some pretty cool moves from a media standpoint.
Right. Media advice? Now women, I don't know. Right. You might want to stick to someone I don't know. Everybody in the media is terrible with women.
Right. I think that it's been interesting to see his rise and fall. He rose to stardom so quickly. That just goes to show that it comes fast, it goes fast.
It could all be gone in a minute.
And it's the slow grind that nobody really. It's the times that Kobe Bryant was in the gym shooting the 3-point shots all day long after practice that didn't nobody talk about. But he became a champion behind that. He became who he was behind that. Same with Michael Jordan. If we could give it as an example, it's those times when he was practicing and nobody knew about it. It's what you do when the camera's off. It's what you do when there's no eyes on you,
And in a way, maybe God gave him a chance to, pause his, to prevent him from going further off the, further off the deep end. Yeah. Because, for him to come out of jail and more focused, in better shape, with a plan, it sounds like he was doing what he was supposed to be doing in there,
Yeah. So now he is on house arrest though, so we ain't gonna speak too soon.
We'll see if he breaks that and we see him go back. But yeah, no, jail ain't no joke for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to end up there.
Yeah, so I mean,
listen to Wingman, so you don't end up there.
I would say nobody on this couch has been to jail yet.
Right.
As of what day is it? Is it the 8th?
April 8th. Yep.
2023.
Yeah, but I mean, how I look at it, just have fun, man. Enjoy your life. Do it all things in moderation. Don't be stupid. Have some common sense. Read a book every now and then. Play some chess.
Read the book. Where's the Bible? Where's it at? Let me see if I can.
Yeah, that's what these boys need out here is the word, man. You know, I think that we just gotta stay focused, man. Just stay fully aware. Stay sober. Stay happy. Stay joyous. There's a lot of things right now trying to bring us down. So just do little things like running, exercise. That's all very important things to keep in your head out the hole, you know. And I think that's it, guys.